Morning, everyone. Dr. T here. I am just getting back from Panama with my family, and oh my gosh, sitting on an airplane with little ones next to me and trying to sleep and maneuver. Well, just the airplane seat in general isn't built for tall people. And most of you who know me, I'm 6'1". So I've got some stuff going on with my shoulder blades, which of course impact the mid-back, which of course impact the neck and all that kind of good stuff. So this morning, for our Movement RX members and those on our 90-day program, I did a shoulder blade release with them. And I figured, why not make Mondays, I'll do some movement snacks for you. I love that term, movement snack. My colleague, Dr. Marissa, who works with us, uses that term a lot. And I love it, right? We think about taking snack breaks, or well, some of us are taking smoke breaks, which you can turn those into movement snacks too. But it's a little snack for your body that you should give your body at least every 25 minutes anyway. So I figure I'd pop on this morning. I haven't been on in a while, which has been glorious to have no tech and not be online for a while. However, I do miss being able to educate you all and the community that we've created on social media. We have a lot of first responders, a lot of veterans, a lot of adaptive individuals are those who are looking to work with adaptive individuals, those with mixed abilities. So I do love our network. I just really enjoyed being tech-free for almost 3 weeks. So I figured I'd kick this education, the posting and education off with a little movement snack for you on this great Monday, right? It's the start of another week. And this is something that you can use for yourself the rest of the week. And I would suggest it. I would do it if you can, up against a wall. I'm going to show you on the ground. I'm literally in my kids' little playroom area. And it's got great light here in my home. But, you can do this on the ground. You can do it up against a wall. But this is something to help your shoulder blade actually slide and glide along the back, along your spine in a more efficient manner. So oftentimes, like me in an airplane seat, I'll just show you what I kind of look like. I'm sitting there, right? I'm trying to have good posture, but I end up rounding forward because literally the headrest is like at my neck level and up that part of my upper back. And so I feel very hunched over. Also, I'm trying to play a maneuver with my kids. And of course, my toddler doesn't take a nap or was sick on the way home. So, that proposed some problems, and I was trying to hold him and let him fall asleep. So I ended up falling in this hunch position, which probably some of you can relate to, right? Falling into this position. So what happens is when you do that, the shoulder blades, which should slide and glide along the back of your shoulders like this, and nice and upright, like good posture, end up falling forward a little bit. So they tilt forward, which ends up weakening the muscles of the bottom part of the shoulder blade, ends up creating tightness in the front of the shoulder, right? Creating tightness up here. And it wreaks havoc on the neck too, which is the other thing, right? It feels like it's hard to keep my neck up. So the first thing I want to do, even though my shoulder blade seems to be the tender, stiff area, I actually don't want to start there. I want to start on the front of the shoulder. So what I'm going to show you is a mobilization for the front of the shoulder. Again, you can do this either against a wall, standing up. I'm going to show you on the ground. And I'm going to use my trusty lacrosse ball that I got from HMI. Shout out to Jeff Bent, who's the CEO of HMI. John and I did a presentation for them in North Carolina this year, and they all got their own lacrosse ball. And I would suggest don't share your lacrosse balls, right? You're going to put them in places that are just for you. So place that ball. So the pec, right, is a big piece of muscle on the front of the shoulder. We've got our clavicle, which sits right in the front. We've got our AC joint right here. We've got bone here, but the pec is this big piece of muscle right here. So I'm going to place the ball there, right? Place my arm out to the side, the other arm just like so. Oh my gosh, the sunlight is like shining directly on the ball. Perfect. And I'm just going to go ahead and press my arm. So my body, the side the ball's in there, is pressing into the ball. So I'm doing a gentle mobilization. Again, my arm is out to the side like this. Can you see how I could do this against the wall as well? Now, I always think it's good to get on the ground. Why not? Right? Challenge our bodies, get on and off the ground, no matter how old you are. That is a function that you need to be able to do for longevity. So this is a little movement snack. I'm going to suggest doing about 20 reps. However, I like taking on a mindful approach to this, right? We practice and teach mindfulness in our company. So how you do that is instead of thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm just going to set my watch or I'm going to timer on for 2 minutes or however long, 30 seconds, I'm actually going to stay in an area that's tender or stiff until it doesn't become tender or stiff anymore. And the way you can also help relax the tissue faster is through your breath. So breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, trying to control the breathing, right? If you feel like this is too much and too tender, then don't move your body. Just lay on the ball or just lay in a stretch position like this. You don't even need the ball, right? You can lay in a stretch position. The ball just adds an extra benefit because actually underneath the ball, right, we're restricting blood flow for a period of time. And then once you take the ball away, you get a rush of blood flow to that tissue area. So, right, I'm going to stay here until it starts to feel a little bit better. And for me, I just did this earlier with our members, so it's already feeling good for me, but it may take a little while for you. So the next position I want you to put your arm in is over your head, like in a Y position, and do the same thing. You're going to get a little different kind of stretch. Right? So take some nice deep breaths. Stay here until it starts to feel better. Right? This live stream will last probably 10 minutes or less, so bear with me. But this is a movement snack. If you feel you or your colleagues need something like this, share it. Share the video. And reach out with questions. I'm not actually monitoring the comments, but I will look at them a little bit later and go in and answer them if you have any questions. All right. So you're going to want to do this on both sides. All right. So you first have your arm out to the side, like in a 90-degree position, then over your head, like in a Y. And then the last position is going to be behind your back on the small of your back. It doesn't have to be up your back, right? On the small of your back or your butt area. Again, maybe you find a different spot. Maybe you roll down 1/2 inch or up 1/2 inch or left or right 1/2 inch. Whatever feels more stiff or tender, go to that. If it's too much, right, move to a different spot and then do the same thing. Since I'm doing this video, I'm not putting my head down, but that is another thing you can do. Now, why is this so important, this movement snack for your pec? Well, the pec sometimes can be like the butt of the upper body, right? It can work really hard and get really stiff, right? And so being able to release it allows the shoulder blade and the shoulder to move more optimally. So it is one thing you can do to kind of unlock some of the triggers and dysfunction that you may have in your neck or your shoulder. But the other thing is, if you're struggling with even an emotional trigger or feeling a little distraught about something, right? The holidays can bring up a lot of stuff, right? Doing a mobilization can actually help the mind find calm. So, right, the body keeps the score. So if you imagine tender areas of your body, right, they can hold emotional tension from emotional triggers. So consider this kind of a way to connect the mind and body, right? A way to treat yourself without needing to talk, without needing to ruminate or anything like that. It's almost like, you've got meditation, which helps tame the mind, which is super important. But sometimes we have to do that. We have to access taming our mind or calming our mind through our body. And there's nothing like using tactile tools, touch, right? The use of touch. Not everyone can go to a masseuse every day, right? Not everyone is going training every day. But if you can use the power of touch, right, with a ball or your hands or some other tool, even a foam roller, right, it can really help create a pattern interrupt to what's going on neck up. So I've been here for a little while. I can move to the other side. I'll do the other side with you all and then show you the final thing So go ahead and place your arm out to 90-degree position, right? Move up and down. This side is pretty mobile for me. It's my left side that gets more restricted. But this has worked wonders for my posture and my neck, right? I'm 6'1", so looking at all those short people all the time sometimes can really affect my neck. Short people meaning my kids. But all right, arm in a Y. But there is a lot of short people out there. It's all right. That's why I've had to get good at squatting. Arm in a Y position. Going to move up and down, right? Same thing we did earlier. So this is the second position, and then I'm going to move my arm behind my back, right, and move up and down. Again, you can do this against the wall, and if you're coming on, I'm just teaching a simple movement snack. This is actually a good way to create the mind-body connection, create a mind-body connection awareness in your body. So we want to create a rest, digest response to any kind of trigger, emotional or physical. And sometimes literally doing something with some tactile input like this, self-massage, right? Massage can be super therapeutic. All right. So once you're done with that, okay, so we're spending at least a couple minutes. If you need to spend longer, do that. So the last thing you're going to do is you can sit up. You can take your arms behind your back if you can, okay, and straighten out. Straighten your arms out. If you have to hold on to a towel, that's fine too. But grab your arms, grab your hands, straighten out your arms, lift your arms up to get a nice pec stretch. Again, try to give yourself good posture. Breathe. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Bend your elbows. One more time. Straighten your arms, lift up. Smile. With each breath, imagine your body relaxing even more. You got this. So I'll leave you with this. Right, you have a little pec release and then a pec stretch, right? If you have to hold on to a towel, fine, or just grab your hands. Super simple. And I'll leave you with this. I was just helping a friend with her book that she's launching here pretty soon. And it's very exciting. It's all on how to tap into that parasympathetic state and create that mind-body connection. Right, and the body does keep the score. So any kind of wounds or trauma meaning wounds that you have, right, your body can hold on to those. So doing simple things like your own self-massage, your own self-mobilization, movement snack, we call it, every 25 minutes can be super therapeutic. Very therapeutic, not only for your body, but for what's going on neck up. And it's just a matter of getting into the habit. Right? Mobilization, self-mobilization, movement is just part of my lifestyle. I do it when I'm playing with my kids in this area of my house, in my office, in the kitchen, outside, right? It's just part of my life. And so that's all I ask you is just do this one thing that we did today with the ball and do it every day this week and see what happens, right? Those shoulder blades already, for me, can move and glide easier because I don't have this big piece of tissue pulling my shoulder forward. I'm also conscious of where my shoulder blades are. But where I was going with that was helping my friend with her book. She had this quote by Rumi in it that said, wounds are where the light can get in, right? So think of wounds, any kind of trauma or issues you have, as a way for light to get in. It's a way to, it's a place to start. And it doesn't have to be this disempowering thing. Our wounds can actually be our greatest source of fuel. Our pain can be our greatest source of fuel in our life if we let it, if we lean into it and truly face it. So I'll leave you with that little movement snack. and tidbit for the day. And I look forward to seeing you the rest of the week. But definitely, if you feel like this mobilization, this body work helped you, then it's guaranteed going to help others. So definitely share and pay it forward. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me at wellness at movement-rx.com. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week.